Welcome back to TCT time! Yay! Today I wanted to talk about something that's a huge part of Japanese culture, onsens and sentos. Onsens are hot springs and sentos are just regular public baths. Sentos can be hot springs sometimes, right?
Yeah, could be.
But also sometimes they're just regular bathhouses. And they're a huge part of Japanese culture.
It has to do if it's naturally heated, isn't it? Isn't it an onsen, like the water's naturally heated from the earth's heat?
Yes, from the
From the ground.
From the ground. Sento is like
It's like just same as bath,
right.
your own house bath, but just bigger.
Yeah.
big stuff.
But some onsen hot springs, I think they also bring in, like they import the hot spring water sometimes and heat it. So if you don't naturally have a hot spring there, you can get hot spring water, which has a lot of minerals and it's very good for your skin.
Like very strong smell, isn't it? Like
Yes. So yeah, those are something that you can find all over Japan, even in Tokyo. Can you find hot springs in Tokyo? Like
Yes.
natural hot springs?
Yes, I think so because the Ome City or the Mount Takao or those mountain area, I assumed. But do you know anything about
Takao
it?
has hot springs, and that's technically Tokyo. So I guess if you go to the outskirts, then you can find
Predominantly
that.
though, it's going to be sentos, right? In Tokyo.
Yes.
I know that Yokohama in the Minatomirai area have a public onsen. So you can physically have an onsen in Tokyo, but as Ian was saying, I think a majority of them are just public baths.
Right. But either way, they're actually kind of a fun experience or very relaxing experience. And many Japanese people love to go there just on like a day off or, after a very exhausting day. Instead of bathing at your own house, it's kind of actually very relaxing to go to a sento or a hot spring.
Because you can do like this.
In front of other people!
I forgot I'm naked.
But so it's kind of awkward at first if you've never done this before, especially if you come from a Western country or a country where culturally you don't really like get naked in front of other people. It's very awkward to go in for the first time.
Yeah, how was that for you guys?
How about you guys, first of all?
Well, so the UK we're quite prude. We're quite private. We don't just bathe together. It's not part of our culture. But I remember the first time going in an onsen. I was actually alone. Technically, I was with my girlfriend. She went in the female side, and I went in the male side. But I remember it being a little bit of a strange experience at first. Just like
How so?
Well, just like this isn't normal. What am I doing?
Getting naked in front of other people.
You're kind of just like in a big, almost like locker room, and you have a small modesty towel that you can use to cover your bits, and you leave your towel in the room, and then you go and like wash yourself, and then you just go and enjoy the onsen. It's a bit strange at first, but once you just get over that initial kind of feeling, it's perfectly fine. It's just you just start to enjoy it.
Right.
I think I think the first couple of times you go, you always feel like everyone's eyes are on you or whatever like that, but no one cares.
Yeah.
Unless you got two or something, no one's gonna be sorry. Sorry, that's sorry, we cut that. But
that's probably
let's just
staying
go over
in the
that.
video.
They might look at you strangely if you walk in the wrong one. So just make sure you.
But
stay in. Yes, you're designated.
But no. I remember the first time I ever went to one. I was with my co-workers, and I thought, oh, nonsense. That sounds kind of cool. It's part of Japanese culture I've never experienced. And we were in Gunma. There's a very famous one in Gunma. There's I forgot the name of it, but a river runs through the middle of it, so you got like half the onsen on one side and the other side. It's really nice. It's like, and I remember getting there, and then I remember it dawned on me. I was like, oh wow, I've got a tattoo. I don't know if I'm going to be allowed in because I didn't even think of that. And then I didn't mention to my co-workers because I don't even think they knew at that time because I always wore like, I don't know, I hadn't been working there that long. Anyway, I remember not saying anything, going into the changing rooms and thinking, wow, this could all backfire spectacularly, or am I going to be able to cover it with
Someone
the
will
thing?
handcuff you while
And
you're
then,
getting
exactly, be led out of there into a place. But I remember as soon as I got changed, John said, like in the change room area, a guy came out, Japanese guy, and his entire chest like this dragon tattoo, and I thought, okay, brilliant, that's I can relax now. Because basically, I guess some onsens are very strict. I'd say most of them now you can't go in with a tattoo.
Really? I actually thought it was getting a little more.
May well
relaxed.
be, and I think there are apps now that you can you can use to tell you where tattoo friendly ones are. But on the recent Journey Across Japan trip we did, in a lot of the hotels in the countryside, when you get out of the big cities, have onsens within them.
Mm.
Every single one of them said no tattoos.
Oh,
Right.
really?
It's just the different in Japan that if you have tattoo, you have another meaning. Maybe we cannot say what is that for, but we can.
I can understand it somewhat because, in Japanese history, a sign of gang membership was that you had tattoos, right? So it was an easy way of establishments of saying we don't want any kind of
those.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone come in, you can't really say no criminals, right?
Yeah.
So it's way that. But
I feel like you could though. No criminals. It seems very obvious.
I guess that's the downside of it, that it affects people who just want to go and bathe, and
Very
I can
true.
see both sides.
We recently working with the Oita, and then we recently went to Oita Prefecture to make the onsen contents, and then we found out so many Oita is famous for onsen, so they are really really open friendly for the fashion tattoo, because then foreigner is coming to Japan, maybe even though it's a bit weird, a bit shy experience, it's very Japanese feeling, right?
Yeah.
So maybe the Oita, the famous place as an onsen prefecture, they started those tattoo friendly website as well.
Yeah.
So like you said,
you can
apps
find.
or the website, if you go to see there, maybe you can find the one you can go. But you said that you went to the onsen with someone, our dumpling.
Oh,
What?
So
Our dumpling.
You went with a
I
dumpling.
we have someone we affectionately refer to as Dumpling, amongst other things. But it was on the Journey Across Japan trip, and we were staying in it's a famous chain of hotels in Japan, and we're staying in one, and I thought, okay, this is a very well-known hotel with Western. It's on Booking.com. Everyone knows it. So shortly I'll be allowed in this one, because the previous hotels we'd stayed up until that point were all kind of like little countryside one-off ones. Stayed in here, and as soon as I get there, there's a big sign that said no tattoos. So I thought I really want to just go in the onsen. So I thought, you know what, it's like 5 to midnight, it closes in 5 minutes, I rush in, rush out. Once you're under the water, I've only got one tattoo here, so once you're under the water, it's fine. It's just the change of it. So anyway, I went in there, and there was one other person in there who was drying himself in a method I've never seen before. It's just one naked guy, sorry. And he had his towel, and he was like slapping behind him. And I remember like, he hit me in the head, and I'm trying to be like, he didn't notice, and I'm trying to be like quiet and like just get in there without being reported to the hotel staff. And then it turned out it was our cameraman, Wimbin.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Wait,
just taking up the entire change room like
Oh
a helicopter with his thing.
So if you're a foreigner, don't do that.
Don't do that.
So funny.
But I was trying to sneak around without being like seen and trying to hide my tattoo. And he's like, oh hey, as he does. But no.
That's
So
hilarious.
I got in and no one else in there, and it was fine. And once I was under the water, it's fine. But all I can say is they do take it serious. I read up on it after the first one I went to, and like the police have been called in occasions to remove people who maybe didn't know.
Really?
One little bit of advice I would give people, if you're coming to Japan, there's a specific onsen you want to go to, and you have a tattoo. Generally, you can go in if you can cover your tattoo. So that won't work if you've got like a sleeve or a big. That's not going to work. But I remember I went to another one, and it was a work thing. And we went in the middle of summer, and it was kind of an outdoor onsen.
I
Sounds really
love
nice.
those outdoor ones.
And we went there, and I said to the guy straight away, because he said no tattoo. I said, I have a tattoo, but I can cover it. Because most places, if you can cover it, they're fine with it.
Right.
They
You can even get little stickers like.
well, this
patches.
is the thing I'd recommend. Get some like what do you call it? Just like plaster
Oh,
roll,
yeah, like a
a thing,
bandage?
a band-aid, like
Yeah.
a big one of those. Use that, because the ones they give you at the onsen I don't know what they're made from, but you cut it out and you put it on you like a transfer, and you do the old like fake tattoos you get as a kid, and you put it and it just puts like a big yellow block over it basically.
Oh, what?
And honestly, I used rubbing alcohol. That didn't come off for like 3 months. Like honestly.
No
And then
way.
no, I'm serious. I was scrubbing it till it was like raw, and then because it was the height of summer, for like 6 months after that, I just had a big white square. So don't use those ones they give you. Bring like a Band-Aid or something like that. Yeah. But honestly, I bought chemicals to remove it. It wasn't coming off. Yeah, that stuff is like it's like I don't know. It's glue and other kind of chemicals, and it wouldn't come off.
That is insane.
Maybe 3 months is a bit of a exaggeration, but
Oh my
it left me
gosh.
like
It was actually like 3 days.
yeah. But
But how is
Man.
the naked time with guys?
Brilliant.
Asking the important questions always.
I mean,
Yeah.
in Japan, the onsen time is like kind of like important time to talk to the family. If you're son and father, if you're brothers, or if you are like close colleague on the business trip, or they have nothing to hide, right?
Yeah.
So just can be so you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you can just talk about, to be honest, kind of
Yeah.
conversation. But
very humbling
They-
experience.
yeah.
Completely naked.
They
yeah.
have a phrase for it in Japanese. I forgot what it was. Is it like hadaka no tsukiyai?
yes.
Yeah. So it means like to, I don't know, to communicate with someone like naked.
Well,
yeah.
At that time, you've got nothing to hide behind.
Yes.
Everyone is exactly the same.
So
Yeah.
sometimes they do
So-
it for business
I've heard that,
get-togethers.
because there's no like any chance of kind of tape recorder or kind of that.
well, true.
Yeah, I've heard some business deals get done like that. I don't know if
Business
that's
deals.
specifically in Japan, but I've heard that like public bus and other places, like in books and stuff. That's why they do it.
That makes sense. But yeah, you literally have nothing to hide. So I mean, you can really just feel open with that
Yeah.
other person,
Mhm.
and there's a level
Yeah.
of trust that is
Yeah.
created by that kind of situation.
Yeah.
I had the experience that
Uh-oh.
I was with the someone who I should just listen to their talk,
Mm-hmm.
but then I was too hot, but I couldn't say I.
Oh, you couldn't stay in the bath because it's.
So it
Yeah.
could be like long conversation, fun conversation.
Yeah.
Could be like too noboseru in Japanese なんて言うんだろう it's too hot and just
Oh, you
kinda
kind of start feeling dizzy and
dizzy, yes.
faint.
So it's like a hadaka no tsukiyai, just having the good conversation with someone else in the bath is good, but at the same time you need to tell them, oh sorry, I'm too hot, can we go?
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise you'll be octopus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't
So
gaman. Don't like force yourself to
Yeah.
stay in there even if you're starting to
Yeah.
feel unwell.
And
That's important.
most sentos and onsens will have like different types of baths.
Yes.
Won't they? They'll have like a super hot one, like an ice, like a plunge pool. Like it's apparently good for the circulation to go from hot to cold.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, I guess when you guys go to one, do you kind of rotate around all of them, or do you just stick to the one you like, or
think
how?
It's
How
up
does
to
it work?
it's up to people, but
Mm.
I could see the grandma just stay in the one place, and they just put their body under here only until here,
Okay.
and they just putting
Sit
the
out of the water.
putting the towel
That's
on
the thing. The towel. That's another thing about the onsens. When you can bring a little towel in with you, but you can't put it in the water.
No.
Right? You have to keep it on the outside, or a lot of people just put it on top of their
Yeah.
head. So what you can do is
It's
run
the
it
washcloth, right?
not.
It's not a washcloth.
So you get it. It's kind of like John said, like a modesty
Modesty
towel, I guess,
cloth.
when walking from onsen to onsen, things like that. Or
But you
But-
can use it when you're showering as well.
Yeah.
You can use it
Yeah,
as well.
but you don't put
Okay.
it in the bath
Yeah.
water.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people just run it under like the cold water tap, right? So they can sit in the really hot one and have it kind of on,
Yes.
their head, and it kind of cools you down while the rest of you is in that.
That's a good
just
idea.
have fun with friends, and then also after you finished soaking the bath,
Mm-hmm.
they are just wiping their clothes with the towel
Mm.
to try not to get wet on the floor inside of the
Right.
Oh,
In
in the
the
locker
changing-
room.
Yeah,
in
in
the
the
change
locker
room.
room. Yes.
This is a big thing in the changing rooms. They have like tatami floors,
Or the wood floor.
wood floors.
Oh, you're
sometimes as well.
right.
If you come out of the bath straight away and you immediately go and leave pools of water like a slug behind you.
Yeah.
People are going to look at you a bit funny.
Mm.
There's
Very true.
like a dedicated space just in the front of the changing room where there's like a mat that you can stand on and you can just at least get some of the water off before you go and get your
Right.
big towel and dry.
Very true.
I think there's so many small manners or things you need to know.
Mhm.
Right.
So that's why when I grew up in Canada, but I came to Japan when I was 18, and that was my first time to experience a hot spring. And that's kind of why it was also intimidating. Part of me was like, I don't know how it's gonna be like when I go in there. Is it gonna be weird to be like I was kind of like, a little worried about being naked in front of other people, of course. And my first time going to a hot spring, I went with my university, which was in Tokyo, and there was a school like ski trip. So I ended up going in with a whole bunch of other students, which you also, coming from a Western country, you worry that might be kind of weird. But luckily that was an easier way to like ease into it. There was a couple of Japanese friends who like showed me where you put your stuff and like, so you come in here and then you put your stuff in the locker. And then I remember asking her like, so where do we get changed, or like where do we undress? And she's like, oh, like here.
Like here.
Yeah, and like that was like probably the most like shocking thing. I was just like, oh, okay, like everybody is around here in the lockers, and like my friend is in the locker next to me. It's like, okay, so just start getting naked then. But you don't really know what to do at first is the thing that was kind of like intimidating.
That's true.
And like what you're allowed to bring in there. You should put your hair up if you're a girl, because you can't put your hair in the water. So there's little things that you might need to know.
So I guess in a nutshell, you basically when you first enter, you pay for, there's different options, right? You can take one of their towels, and the mini one, or you can bring your own, or you can get like shampoo and stuff like that.
Right.
So you can, once you buy your ticket, you go in, you get a locker key, go into the change rooms, like I said, get changed, and then first, before you go into the bar, so you go into, there'll be this, there'll be rows of little
lockers.
Sink. Once you've got changed, put your stuff in the thing. You go through. There'll be like little rows of like a little shower head, and a little stool that you sit on, and a bucket that you kind of wash yourself with, and then you go hang out in the baths until you're done.
Right.
Yeah.
The main thing is you need to be clean before you enter the bathtub. So it's traditional in Japan that you would wash yourself at the showers, and then you can go into the water. And the water is meant to just be for relaxing, the actual tub. And then,
hair, you need to tie up the hair.
Yeah, if you have long hair, you need to tie it up. I once got in trouble because I had my hair down. Like, I didn't realize that you have to, like, always keep it up. So, always keep it up. And I guess that's just part of keeping the water clean. They come in regularly to, like, clean the water and, like, replace the water and stuff. But still, those little efforts by everyone is what makes it a clean and happy experience.
And they're hoping that
different bars.
I
would say if you're coming to Japan and you're a little bit skeptical about trying it, I definitely would, even if you're just coming to Tokyo, because I go to a Sento, which is like a little indoor one, not naturally heated, but in very central Tokyo. And I've only ever gone on my own there, and people have just been super friendly. Like I said, people don't care. People aren't going to stare at you. But it's a cool experience. It's definitely part of Japanese culture, and a lot of them, though, I'd say, don't have much English, so you might need to go with a Japanese friend. But if you go there, I mean, they're not going to turn you away. People are going to help you get the ticket and explain as best they can. So definitely try it.
It definitely does help to go with someone the first time, just
so
that they can explain it to you. But even if you do go alone, I think that, basically, if you just look at what other people are doing and you just copy them, then you'll be fine.
Exactly. In a lot of the tourist areas, they're used to having tourists coming and trying onsen, and everyone has their first time going in one. Even Japanese people, there will always be a first time they go there.
Yeah.
You see people going with their families and things, and like the father's showing the son or mother's showing the daughter how to kind of use the onsen, and everyone has to learn the etiquette for the first time.
Right.
Don't worry about doing anything just a little bit wrong, because people won't generally get angry with you.
Yeah, they'll
respect
nice.
that. And as Shizuka just said, like, if you are ever worried about what to do or where to go or where to do something, obviously respect other people's privacy, but you can kind of have a little look at what other people are doing.
Exactly.
And it really helps.
And it's fine. Like, people are just so used to being naked
Yeah.
in this space that it doesn't really matter if you see other people being naked. It's just normal. So it's fine to look and
I guess
copy.
It's important to get across that most are gender separated completely. Not all, right? There are like mixed
There are
ones.
some, but they're a little bit rare.
I usually wear the swimsuit kana, if it's a mix
I have
place.
one.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's
Okay.
some wild places. I mean, it's a wild hot sport spring.
Right.
So
Like natural
yeah,
outside.
anyone can go.
Okay.
Mitaina.
You say wild and just like picturing a party
It's just like
in
a
the
party.
pool.
Party.
Sorry, but yeah, but maybe there's so many culture shock, but everything is gonna be okay. And also maybe a lot of my girls' friends are saying, "Wow, you guys don't shave," kind of thing. They are saying,
Comment on each other's body hair situation.
yeah, but it's quite interesting to exchange those cultures as well, I guess. But it's
This is why I always go on my own. I don't go with people I
Yeah.
know because I don't
but it's maybe girls topics. But yeah, we don't see like so it's okay.
Yeah.
You just be yourself and just enjoy and just relax the onsen time.
I agree. So we generally it's fine. Nobody stares. It's very chill. But I've noticed recently I went to a very remote island called Iojima. So it's a very remote island in Kagoshima, and there's only about 100 or so people who live on that island.
Ooh.
Is it near Yakushima? Just south
Yes,
of that one. I know the one you're talking about.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's near Yakushima. It was a lovely island. It's very hard to get to, but I was there for like a week. So you kind of meet the people who live there.
Right.
And I went to the onsen like twice, and we were filming an NHK thing there. So they all kind of, oh, you're doing the shoot, and I was like, yeah. But that means you kind of end up talking to the people in the onsen, which can be nice, but it can also be a little awkward because it's definitely a little weird. You're just sitting in the water, or you're like showering, and they'll be talking to you, and you're like, yeah. You're just like,
Yeah, I'm trying to shower here.
yeah, exactly. And also, like, the thing that was a little particularly awkward for me was when I was getting out of the sento and like, you know, drying off. Another lady came in with her young son because when
right.
they're little, you bring in the boys can come in too. But I had seen him during the shoot and stuff too, and that was just for me. I was like, oh my goodness. And I had like a tiny towel too, like covering. And she talks to me and she's like, oh, hi, how was your trip? Yeah, oh, you're leaving tomorrow? And I'm like, yes, yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow. Just trying to cover up a little bit. But honestly, like, it's fine, but it's a little weird if you're not used to it. It's hard
Right.
to talk to people when you're naked, especially not in the water, but like out.
Yeah, that's true. But
definitely.
the different gender, I think the son and mom or father and
daughter, yeah.
they only can accept, I think, until 5 or yochen, until kindergarten.
Yeah.
Stage,
Okay.
I guess. Otherwise, it's a bit too
It's a little weird.
Yeah, weird. Yeah.
I have one question that you might know about sentos. I don't, not onsens, sentos particularly. They always have a massive mural of Mount Fuji on there, right? And I heard they compete against each other about which one's going to be the best murals, like the most sparkly kind of. So if you ever go,
They're pretty cool. They're not in all sentos though.
I heard they are. They might not be.
They
I'm
have
probably not to be fair, but yeah.
they have the specific job for that. The people who only can ride the
and
Fuji.
And that's why I heard about it, because the one that I go to, it's the only one in Japan that has a round Fuji. And the guy who painted it is one of like the original 2 people who can still claim to be like from the original art people who do it. And the other reason I know about it, when I was like trying to practice my Japanese, there's a cartoon I started watching on Netflix because it's brilliant for practicing Japanese, and it's called What Else Said His Mum? Like The Laughing Salesman.
Yes, I know
And it's
it.
basically, so I'll keep it short, but it's basically the premise of it is someone who wants something, like there's a guy who wants a pay rise, or there's a lady who wants something, but it really is Japanese culture. You see like people getting on the train in Shinjuku in the morning, and then this guy turns up, Mogoro, and he's like, I can give you this, but then something bad always happens. It's kind of a little bit creepy, a little bit dark, you know? And there's this one guy who just wants to go to like see the best Fuji mural in the so he gives him this anyway but yeah, apparently it's quite competitive within the sentos who has the best mural of Fuji on there. So.
Interesting. So you can
Yeah.
kind of take a look around at the sentos in the city
Yeah.
and compare Fuji
Compare Fuji.
paintings.
Just don't take your camera. 'Cause you
Yeah,
will get kicked out.
don't bring in your cameras. Yeah. But anyway, that kind of wraps up our topic on onsens and sentos in Japan, and also what it was kind of like for us to first experience the onsens. Generally, the takeaway is that you don't need to feel too awkward about it, because everybody, it's just so part of the culture that nobody cares if you're naked, and nobody's gonna be looking at you. Maybe in some more local, remote areas, you might be a bit of a novelty as a foreigner.
Yep.
So maybe you would get some stares, but I mean, that's just
It's just curiosity.
it's just
Yeah.
a way of
Yeah.
curiosity, but I mean, nobody's, is judging you, so people are just there minding their own business.
Yeah.
And it's a very relaxing and fun experience. And for me personally, like, just learning to be comfortable being naked was a really liberating experience.
Yeah. Be
And
comfortable with yourself.
yeah, and just, it's just so natural and normal. So that was nice for me.
Right?
Yes.
Back to baby.
Back to your birthday suit.
Yeah.
And you can even do that outside, which is not something you can do often, like in the Rottenburo,
Right.
outdoor hot springs.
Outdoor spring.
So I think it's a really nice experience to try if you ever come to Japan.
And don't
Yeah.
forget drinking the milk after
Yes.
after the bath.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
There's always
Maybe-
vending machines selling like little glass bottles of milk
Why?
because it's really refreshing after.
yes.
But isn't water refreshing?
Well, you've just been sat in
You
those.
know, it's okay.
good.
Just go.
It's Japanese
Let's go.
culture.
Next video, milk versus water. Who wins? Let's go.
All right, well, after you go to the onsen, drink some milk.
Yes.
I'll try that next time.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us. See you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.